Just when you thought the Wendy Williams headlines couldn't get any worse, her ex-husband comes up with a new scheme to get his hands on some of Wendy's money. So Kevin Hunter just filed a $250 million lawsuit against Wendy's court-appointed guardian, Sabrina Morrissey. And, Wendy has been fighting this guardianship since the beginning, since Wells Fargo first froze her accounts. She's been fighting to get her money back. And then when she was put in the guardianship in 2022, she's been doing everything she can to get out of it because she says that she's competent. And most recently, I'd say about 3 months or so ago, she was making the rounds on The Breakfast Club, TMZ. She was doing Don Lemon's podcast. She was going everywhere showing that she is mentally competent. She can have access and control of her own funds, and she wants completely out of this guardianship. So she has gotten Joe Tacopino, who was A$AP Rocky's lawyer. She has her niece Alex helping her. She has someone else that deals with this sort of guardianship stuff. So she is on the right track. They've garnered huge media attention. They've been able to get her another evaluation where they actually declared that she doesn't have any cognitive issues that would impair her or stop her from managing her own funds. And for some reason, her ex decides that all of the help, the skilled help that Wendy has in this issue is just not enough. He says he's the only one who can stand up for her because he doesn't feel threatened. And it's so funny because I seem to remember him saying he was the only one to do something before. It's always the same with him. He thinks that he's going to come in as the hero for Wendy, or at least he wants to appear to be the hero so that Wendy could express her gratitude via cash, right? If you guys remember when they first got together, I think it was in the 90s, Wendy was still working at the radio station. She had said some things about Diddy, and he had sent one of the groups over to Wendy Williams' workplace, Total. They were working, they were on Bad Boy Records at the time. So allegedly he sent Total over to Wendy Williams' workplace, her radio station, to, kind of give her the what for. And Kevin Hunter showed up to her rescue to save her from getting mollywopped by Total or something. So she's been forever enthralled to this man, thinking he's some sort of hero or protector. So now he comes in with this same role, but this time Wendy's eyes are open because she has told TMZ that she had no idea that Kevin Hunter was filing this lawsuit on her behalf. Not only does she not have any idea, but she doesn't even want him to be part of her life like that. She says she's divorced forever. She even said he's a money grubber. He's always been that way. And she said it's good to know that he's doing such evil things again. And she even said that he won't win. And the reason she's saying that he won't win, because some people are thinking, I've seen the headlines and they're like, oh, he's trying to get her out of the guardianship. He wants to end the guardianship. No. That is not what he wants. The actual filing, according to People magazine, the actual filing says that he's not seeking to end Williams' guardianship. Instead, he is requesting a new impartial guardian, the unsealing of her case files, her release from involuntary confinement, a full forensic accounting, and $250 million in relief for financial loss, reputational damage and harm, emotional distress, legal expenses, and deprivation of liberty. He is also seeking to be named as Williams' next friend. And it's a role that would give him the ability to legally act on behalf of an individual unable to assert their own rights and when no guardian is acting in their best interest. So this man has come in, declared Wendy as a plaintiff and himself a co-plaintiff in this lawsuit against her guardianship, the judge, Wells Fargo, all of these people. And he does not want to end the conservatorship, but he wants an impartial guardian appointed. And he wants to be named as her legal next friend so that he can control some of this as well. Did y'all hear that? This is not even about ending the guardianship. It's, again, another way for him to get his hands on Wendy's money. But I seem to remember there was a time when this man told everybody that he was behind the purple chair of power. He was the one behind Wendy's success. It takes a village is something that I thought I heard he said. And everybody was like, well, you know what? If you did all this, that's even what he was suing Debmar Mercury for, saying that he was the brains behind it all, trying to get more money from them because this was his idea. He came up with Hot Topics. He came up with this. He did that. And everybody was like, oh, if you so fresh and fly, if you all that, then why don't you use this whole sort of lady that you have that you once stepped out on Wendy on and make another? But guess what? Even though he spent Wendy's money buying this woman businesses, buying her homes and cars, he could not make another Wendy Williams. And also, every single one of the businesses that he bought for this woman allegedly failed. So now here he comes back, inserting himself into Wendy's business where he does not belong and acting like he's the only one who could save Wendy in this. The lawyer that he used to file this lawsuit, LaShawn Thomas, this is the same lawyer that made Wells Fargo lock Wendy out of her own account, because this lawyer, at the time, she was not just Kevin's lawyer, she was Wendy's lawyer too. And if you don't think that's a conflict of interest, something that the judge even ended up telling the lawyer that she needed to remove herself from Wendy, and if she ever reached out to Wendy or tried to act on her behalf in any court or anything like that, the judge would hold her in contempt. So this is the same lawyer who was there at the beginning when they first started all of this, freezing her accounts and then putting her in a guardianship. So this man is bringing the same lawyer around to do this. Wendy clocked that immediately. She was like, this is a money grubber. He's always been that way, and he has no part in her affairs. And as a matter of fact, she has Joe Tacopino, the lawyer who helped A$AP Rocky beat those charges just recently. And he said Wendy had no idea about the lawsuit. She absolutely didn't know. And she's not happy about the fact that Kevin Hunter has inserted himself in her business yet again. He said that Kevin has no standing to add Wendy's name to the lawsuit and no authority from Wendy whatsoever. And they certainly don't need his help. Because if they wanted to file a lawsuit, they would. So thanks, but no thanks. And I'm saying he could skip the thanks, because this man has only brought his own covetousness into Wendy's life, and that's always stirred up mess. And because we remember when she came out a few months ago, like we talked about, she was saying another of the reasons that she had her accounts frozen to begin with was because her son was allegedly doing some things with her money, and she said she knows who was behind it. She says it was like 2 people or so that she could think of that were egging her son on to do these actions with her account. And we all know who she was referring to allegedly in that interview with TMZ. And we all remember when Wells Fargo first froze her accounts. The one good thing that came out of that was she stopped paying this man and his woman, his lady. She stopped paying them monthly. And that was the one good thing to come out of that. Because if you remember, once Wendy's accounts were frozen, the next thing you know, here comes Kevin filing a lawsuit talking about his neck, his back, his hips, his legs, because Wendy stopped paying. He can't pay his bills. He can't pay his medical insurance. He can't get his health looked at and fixed. The same man who was yelling about health is wealth when Wendy was first going through some issues during their divorce. Now all of a sudden he's in the state of needing some health things fixed. But he can't pay for anything because Wendy stopped paying him. And Wendy's own lawyer came out and was like, this was a severance agreement. This wasn't alimony for you, sir. And the severance agreement stated that as long as Wendy was on a talk show of some sort, then you would continue to receive monthly payments. But guess what? Wendy hasn't been on a talk show or being paid by Debmar Mercury since October of 2021. So you don't get nothing from her anymore. And since then, Kevin has been on this quest to reattach himself to her money. And this is just another scheme where he can access her money again, because all the lawsuits that he's filed since Wells Fargo first froze Wendy's account, he filed one against her to get the funds being paid to him again. He filed something against Debmar Mercury. All of it has failed. All of that has failed. So now here he comes up with this new scheme and has the nerve to be requested to be her next friend. Like, since when have you ever been her friend, sir? All right, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.